Welcome back. It is 5:20 now here on Daybreak. Many of the big blockbuster video games are coming out as we get closer and closer to the holiday season. Well, here checking out which ones your kids should be playing is our resident gamer guide, Matt Barnett.
It's the Channel 7 Gamer Guide. I'm Matt Barnett. Holiday season's right around the corner, and the major publishers are getting their games out in the marketplace early for the big money bragging rights. And I've got two of the contenders today that are big names, one in gaming, one in the film world. First up, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. This stealthy espionage latent thriller is the final part of the Metal Gear series created by Hideo Kojima, a legend in video gaming who just recently left Konami after completing this masterpiece of sneaking and being confusing. The Metal Gear series goes all the way back to the 80s, and this game, Metal Gear Solid 5, takes place chronologically before the events of Metal Gear. Just Metal Gear, the original first game in the series that came out in the 80s. Now, Metal Gear as a whole has never been very easy to understand as a series, and trying to dive deeper into the story to figure out what's going on just makes it worse. So myself and others I know take the practical approach. You're a cool, tough guy named Snake, or Boss, or Big Boss, or whatever you want to call yourself, and you sneak around infiltrating prisons, military installations, secret hideouts, etc. to take out targets in the most stealthy way possible. You can do these missions any way you could possibly imagine, from running in guns a-blazing to taking out hostages without the soldiers holding them prisoner even knowing you were there. This part of the game, the actual game, is a masterpiece, and I've gone back and revisited missions several times thus far just to try completely different approaches, and they've all been drastically different gaming experiences. So if you're into stealth games with a military edge, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is about as good as you can get. It's been getting 10s and perfect scores across the board, and I can't disagree. Where I do disagree, however, is how appropriate it is for kids. Metal Gear Solid 5 is rated M for mature, and it is so far on the side of mature, it's about to enter the old folks' home. There's more blood, missing limbs, and explosions sending body parts flying in the first 10 minutes of this game than in the entirety of some actual minor wars. Also, the team you build eventually includes a female sniper who goes by the name of Quiet, and she's quite possibly the most scantily clad, completely polar opposite of what a feminist would look like that you could ever imagine. Adults, Metal Gear is a sophisticated, nuanced, beautiful game with a deep set of options and missions to partake in. And it's a real shame Kojima will no longer be able to tell us the highly confusing stories of Snake, or Boss, or Big Boss, or whatever his name is this week, because this game is outstanding. Kids, if you want to play Metal Gear, my advice to you is finish school, graduate, and then you might be old enough to start taking a crack at this game, because it is not acceptable for you right now. Next up, Mad Max. Mad Max Fury Road blew into theaters earlier this year and crushed the box office, as Tom Hardy took on the role of Max and Charlize Theron took over my every waking thought as his co-star Furiosa. The bad guy in Mad Max Fury Road has a brother, and that's who you're up against in Mad Max the Game, out now on PS4, Xbox, and a slew of other systems. At the beginning of this game, Max's trusty car is stolen and destroyed. Max teams up with a hunchback mechanic he meets out in the desert, and they proceed to start building his new car named the Magnum Opus, so he can get revenge on his #1 enemy. This game didn't get me very excited initially, because most games made about movies are typically pretty featureless and boring. I'm so glad that I was wrong. Mad Max is a showstopper and a sleeper for what could be one of the more fun games of the year. You get the long road battles that made Fury Road so enthralling, along with being able to build your own souped-up car-destroying war machine in a fast-paced race to revenge. Mad Max is a fun, fast, and violent, and completely not appropriate for kids game. Sorry, little guys and gals. The big-name games this year are going to where the money is, and that's, well, adults. The final verdict. Mad Max and Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain are both fun in their own ways, and I'd recommend buying them both. If you're on the fence or you can only get one, Metal Gear is a good investment with a ton of replay value, as you can try out missions in different ways. Let me know what new games you want to play at #Channel7GamerGuide, and I'll be back next time with a review of Destiny 2.0: The Taken King. For the Channel 7 Gamer Guide, I'm Matt Barnett.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up after the break, an exciting high school football game this weekend had both sides cheering all night. We'll explain coming up in This Really Happened.